What's up, y'all? So, as you can see by the title, Danielle, Brittany, and Frankie invade the BB house. Their potential involvement at various points in the season. So, it seems like they had some people that are going to be there for the initial premiere episode or like premiere week, I guess. And then it seems like they're also going to have some people that are coming at various points of the season to help with different games. So when I think about the potential of what BB25 is doing, I'm not sure if BB has done this before. BB US has done it before, but I know that BB Can has done it before. And in fact, they just did it in this last season that they just had. They had several returning Big Brother people. I think Bruno came back. I know Rachel went over there for BB Can. I can't remember all the different people, but I know they had plenty of people return for BB Can, which I think is cool. I think that's fine. I hope they don't overdo it and have somebody different hosting every competition, because I like when it's kind of balanced, where they don't see anyone for a while and it's just the house guests, and then like maybe at a surprise point one of the old people pops up to host the game or do something, and they're like, oh, look at this person. Yeah, but I don't want them to overdo it. In BB Can, essentially those people that came back were kind of like coaches in a sense. I don't think that they necessarily talked everything about gameplay, but they did give them some game advice. So I hope that there's not too much of that. I'm looking forward to the new season too, Vicky. So they did show us the house. You know, I'm not too big into the house. I'm never too big into the games. The only reason I really like the games are especially when we get late into the season, when the games really matter in terms of HOH and veto, power of veto becomes really important. But at the beginning, the games are kind of whatever to me. And the house is kind of whatever to me too. What was I gonna say? The games, the house. Yeah, the thing that I really liked about Big Brother is the people aspect of it, because I could sit and people watch all day before I could watch TV. I don't even watch that much TV. I mean, funny enough for somebody who does TV coverage now, but before 2020, I was not doing any TV coverage at all. I was watching like 2 to 3 shows, and I was like, it's not a great use of my time. But I started to watch more, obviously, when I started doing these pages, because it gives me more content. Sometimes I like watching some of the games. Some of the games I think are plain stupid, but I like OTEV. I love BB Comics. That's one of my favorites. I can't really say that I like the endurance ones where they have to just hang on to things and spin and stuff. Like, I don't really find those particularly entertaining. But they usually are at important times in the competition where winning or losing really makes a big difference. So, my feeds. I actually had a friend. Sorry, y'all, I'm multitasking. But I actually had a friend tell me, like, I can't believe you got so into Big Brother, or I thought you were like this huge Big Brother fan. And I'm like, I didn't become some massive Big Brother fan. I'm still talking. I didn't become some massive Big Brother fan until I started watching the live feeds. Everything goes down in those live feeds. The hookups, the fights. Like, if you once you start watching the live you start to feel like I can go with or without the edited version. The only thing that you might like the edited version for is to kind of see a little Spark Notes version of what you've been watching on the live feeds. But sometimes they don't even include things that are important or interesting or entertaining. Because look what just happened with BB Can. When BB Can tried to do these digital dailies, I can't believe that I made it through that entire season of BB Can. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's only because when I commit to things, like I commit to them and I stick with them to the end. Because I had a hard time watching a show knowing how much production was in control of everything. If there was a big fight, production could edit the hell out of the fight, and we don't really know who started the fight, what escalated it. I don't like to see a fight at the point, like, it's like watching the pot at its boiling point. It didn't just start boiling. And y'all could spin it however you want. You could make Zach the villain, you could make Kuzi the villain. Whoever you choose to be the villain is going to be the villain. That's just what it is. I like the fact that on a regular season of Big Brother, you get to look and choose for yourself. You get to look and choose for yourself. And I remember even Taylor was saying she could imagine if her season did not have live feeds, because she didn't realize how much we were rocking with her, because you don't know on the inside of the house. When you're on the inside of the house, you're not sure how the show is being showed and how you're being perceived and everything. But we saw from Jump Street. We definitely saw from Jump Street that she was being bullied and picked on, and this game of telephone that was being played and all that. We saw that. And she was like, if there wasn't live feeds, the show could have spun their own narrative, and then it would be like mortifying, because even though it was traumatic for her to look back and see like what had happened to her on the show, still she got some redemption from the fact that we didn't see what she saw. So I'm looking forward to the season. The season starts next week, Wednesday. We are 5 days away. This feels like the longest wait. You know, Survivor is like, what, 2 times a year? The challenge is like 2-3 times a year. Big Brother is once a year. And we went more than a year because it ended early October. Not more than a year, but we more than a year from its last start date. Its last start date was probably beginning of July or something like that. And now we're starting like beginning of August. I'm excited about premiere night, y'all. I'm excited about premiere night. Premiere night, I'm gonna be in the building. I've been telling you guys this for about a month. I'm gonna be in the building. I'm gonna be rocking with the cookout. I'm gonna be there with whoever's there. All the BB23 people. There's gonna be some Survivor people, if I'm not mistaken. I've never been to like a Big Brother premiere night, so I don't know. I hope it goes well. I don't know. Hopefully it goes well. Should be a good time. and I'm looking to score some interviews and stuff out of that. What are y'all thoughts is my question. What do y'all think? What are y'all thoughts about the upcoming season? Are you excited for it? Are you like it's about time? What do you think about the house themes? What do you think is going to happen? Is this season going to be racial undertones, or is it just going to be like people are going to play for the love of the game? I don't know myself what to expect. Not sure. But I'm hoping that this is more game than anything else. Because, so let me tell you something about last year. Me personally, last year, I don't mind all the race conversations. I don't mind the Cookout 2.0 comment by Kyle. When I say that, I don't mean that it's not racist. I just mean I don't mind it. But here's the thing. The reason why I minded the conversation is because we mostly didn't see it. So if he had made his comments and then all the aftermath of what he said was shown, I'm cool with it, man. I am cool as a cucumber, because I'm like, that's real, that's authentic. He made his comments. What's his name? Michael said what he said and did what he did. And we go from there. We get to see an unfiltered version of everything. And that's the thing that made Big Brother different from the other shows that I watch. Big Brother is different because of the fact that everything else, it was filmed 2 months ago, 3 months ago. They had plenty of time to create the narratives that they want, create the edits, and create all of that. Whereas the thing that makes Big Brother so special and unique to me has always been being able to see no edits, and I'm quite sure that's what gives it the following that it has always had. So the fact that they were cutting those feeds every 2 seconds, I enjoyed the little piece of conversation they showed between Kyle and Monty, and between Kyle and Taylor, and between Kyle and Terrence. I enjoyed the conversations in the aftermath that they showed between Terrence and Monty, or like Monty and Taylor. I enjoyed those conversations. And then they said, oh, they had an explosive house meeting and blah blah blah, but we didn't see the explosive house meeting. We kind of saw the aftermath of the explosive house meeting. So that's the part that I didn't like. I don't mind when real things happen. I just mind when we don't get to see what happened. So now we're going off speculation. And then if y'all have ever looked at one of those BB contracts, I understand fully why you don't get real good answers out of them. Because on the outside looking in, you're looking and thinking to yourself, man, these guys are just not real. But then you look at the contracts and all the stipulations in there and how much they could potentially be sued for. And then you're like, I get why they tread lightly. Hi, Miss Snappy Kid. I actually have to go in like a minute or two. If y'all will be here, I'll hop right back on. I'm actually just delivering some video footage, photos, not video footage, some photos for this wedding that I did last weekend. So I'm only going to be able to be on here for a few more minutes, then I have to call my guy, drop off the photos, and then I could come back. Depends. I do have a little time though, because the computer's still loading up. These are all the photos. This is something that I do sometimes on the side. Sometimes I do photography for different things. Not as often as I used to, because I get really tired of the business parts of it. But oh, these kids with their walkie-talkies. I didn't know they still use walkie-talkies nowadays. Nappy kid. Um, yeah, multitasking. Live feeds make the show. Live feeds make the show. Live feeds make the show. I agree. Live feeds definitely make the show. What is the show? What is a show without? What is a Big Brother without live feeds? It's BB Can. So I'm sorry, BB Can and BB Can fans, but I absolutely can't watch BB Can anymore unless they bring the live feeds back. These digital dailies that they tried to spin us on were like snake oil. Sorry, bruh. Snake oil. Mm-mm-mm. Yard style. Ooh, I might get some food from here. I don't know. Mood for some Jamaican food. Nobody can listen. Nobody can tell me nothing about being Canadian after Sam said I like this Canadian. Now nobody can tell me nothing. I'm gonna hold that with me for the rest of my life. Shout out to Sam. Canon MK M. No, I don't got money like that, Rich. I'm broke. I have a Canon T7i, which is outdated nowadays. I bought it four years ago. It was about $700 at the time. I used to be doing a lot of jobs back then, but nowadays I have much less of a passion. To be honest with you, when people reach out to me, I usually have a tendency to want to say no, but occasionally I need the money. Just like in this case, they were like, "Hey, you want to shoot this wedding?" And in my head, I was like, "Not really," but I'm broke as a joke because I just paid this videographer to record this interview that I did. So I need to recuperate that money. That's that. It's a side hustle. I at one time thought that I quit my job at one point in time to just do photography and videography, and I was doing it, and I was like, man, doing this and having to all these business aspects of it has taken away my love for the camera. So I actually ended up putting down the camera for like a year to where I didn't even want to see the camera. Keep the camera away from me. And eventually I was like, you know what? I love photography. I'm going to pick it back up as a hobby. I picked it back up as a hobby. People saw me taking pictures again, and they're like, oh, you're doing pictures again. Will you do this job? Will you do that job? Will you do this job? I about 25% of the jobs that people ask me to do. Really, because I only do it for the money at this point. Unless I'm recording a project for myself, I do still, I'm creative. I like to do creative projects like that for myself. But, oh, and we're almost done loading. That's the next thing. This is actually a new computer. I have a MacBook Pro. I have Android everything, but I have a MacBook Pro. I have a MacBook Pro, but I have a MacBook Air, actually. I'm sorry. That's two different things for anyone who knows computers. I have a MacBook Air. A MacBook Pro, this thing would have been loaded. I did a photography class and they had MacBook. I forget what those things are called, but for those Apple users, those monitors that are also the whole computer is the monitor and it's a Mac. Fastest video editing software and photo editing software I have ever encountered. Made me want to buy one, but I don't have the $3,000 or whatever it is. No, I did not see that music video. Okay, y'all, I'm hopping off, but I'll hop back on in the next 10 minutes or so to see who's here.